Good morning, Big Square, Road.com with your morning horn of Z's. Your sip of coffee. Huge news everywhere I look. Everywhere. um, Number one is silver. Huge news in silver. Huge background story behind the huge news. I'll be talking about that on Patreon this afternoon because they usually demonetize it. Every time I talk about silver, they're like, no, we can't talk about silver. Anyway, Patreon channel, go to Road to Roota, Patreon, the front page looks like, and subscribe. Big silver update. Huge news. Not only the news that hit the headlines, but the behind the scenes stuff. Who is really getting busted and how this is going to go down. Speaking of that, I have posted part one of the timeline of the Road to Roota timeline as to when this big event is going to go down. And I think I've nailed it. Based on a lot of different inputs and the Road to Roota theory and even the Fed Boston information shows us where we're going. So if you are interested, go to roadtoroota.com, subscribe today, and you get to click on the member area. Yeah, a good time to sell cryptos. It says I'm a hodler, so I don't get freaked out when it's too low, and I don't get too excited when it's too high. I plan to hold it for a few years, so nothing. Who cares, right? But here it is, the timeline article. This is part one has been posted. It's a video presentation of part one. Yeah. You're going to definitely want to see part two. Part two is all about when and how. So check it out. Go to roadtoroota.com, subscribe today, and you get a free silver coin. You know the drill, right? Let's talk about this morning. Bitcoin explodes 20% overnight, rises just shy of $13,000, and everybody wants to know why. I have a theory, and this theory goes back to the 2018 bear market, if you want to call it a bear market. It's all rigged via computers and derivatives, and some of the real stuff. Obviously, the Mt. Gox sale was timed and orchestrated to bring the price down, but there was more going on. The idea was for the cryptos to run throughout without these big, huge spikes throughout 2017 into 2018 when the big stuff happened. Well, we got the deep state criminals, Tether people, making everything rise too fast, too early, too fast, and so they had to pop that bubble. That was a moment in time that they carved out from what was planned originally. We live on a template, and that template we're living and surviving, and certain obstacles are thrown in our way, and this is our soul path. Our soul path was interrupted by entities that wanted to delay it, to take care of business in other areas like arresting people and taking bad actors out, but also to slow down the transition. This has all been, since 1913, it's all been about slowing down the implementation of a new system. Originally, it was gold. There was so much gold they couldn't do anything about it. They had to kick the can. So 2018 was orchestrated, planned, and executed. So you could just carve that out and remove it and push 2017 and 2019 together, and that's the extension that should have happened in 2008. So that's why there was a big rundown in cryptos, and that's why it's running up so fast now. Is it going to happen again? That they're going to crash it again? Most likely. But again, as you see from the past, it's up, drive up, a crash. It's got nothing to do with price, really. It's got to do with sentiment. How many people are getting in? Now remember, price is running away, right? Ask your neighbors if they are buying in yet. They can say, hell no. Look, it dropped last time. We got a long way to go on this up run. I think it's going to blow well past 100,000 before this latest run is over. And then they slam it back down. I would say closer to 250,000 for Bitcoin. And other altcoins need to be revalued. especially the good altcoins that serve a purpose, and the company has done what they said they were going to do. That's coming. That's where big money will be made again. Yes, right now they're allowing Bitcoin to run faster than everything else. Earlier they were allowing Litecoin to run faster than everything else. Before that, they were allowing Ethereum or EOS to run faster than anything else. And everybody chases the shiny object. So everybody's like, oh my God, I gotta sell my altcoins and get into Bitcoin. If you're a hodler, just wait, because altcoins will have their run, Litecoin will have another run. I do think Litecoin is massively undervalued. What this does, it puts Litecoin in the realm of the silver gold ratio, just like Charlie was talking about. Let's talk about it right now. What is the Bitcoin price right now? Is 12,755 divided by the Litecoin price, 137, 93 to 1. That's the exact ratio that gold and silver are. What did Charlie know? And with my silver post on Patreon later, you're going to understand that silver's going to 4 to 1, at least, probably 1 to 1 in a spike, but 4 to 1 to gold. You're going to see the same thing for Litecoin. Think about 4 to 1 Litecoin with Bitcoin hitting 100,000. That's $25,000 Litecoin. Absolutely 100%. Why? Because it's the means of exchange. That's the time we're getting into. When humanity, we needed Litecoin back in 2008. But of course, there was no Bitcoin around. And Bitcoin was that supposed hope for a means of exchange, but it got co-opted by the core developers and people behind the core developers. So fine. They locked it up as a store of value. That's fine. Litecoin's completely the opposite. Litecoin saw an opportunity there. Charlie Lee and the Litecoin Foundation, the people who support Litecoin, said, hey, if Bitcoin doesn't want to be that means of exchange, we will link up with Bitcoin and be that means of exchange that Bitcoin doesn't want to be. And with the Lightning Network, that's 100% not only possible, but likely. That is the plan. Remember, the UN went to the Litecoin Summit and made a presentation. Didn't tell anybody about it. The very last thing that happened at the Litecoin Summit last year. Yes, there's deep, dark people involved with everything. But they have a plan, and it's a crypto plan. So if you have good cryptos, you sit there and hodl through the highs, the lows, the mediums. It's the only way to keep your sanity. Obviously, if you're a trader, you should have traded when Bitcoin doubled, right? Everybody's going to say, yeah, I nailed the top. All those traders are going to say, I nailed the top. I bought at the bottom, I nailed the top. And they're all lying. 100%. Why? Because they take their 50% profit. And then they'll get in again when it's at $100,000 and then lose their ass. So yeah, good times. Good times are coming. The people aren't coming yet. The institutions aren't coming yet. Ben was all excited about the new ETF or the COMEX approval of futures. Are you kidding, Ben? Yes, cryptos will rise without that. But that is a tool for manipulation 100%. If you don't believe me, look at the $5 trillion silver market. What do they have? Deliverable contracts on the COMEX. Sorry, but those are tools for manipulation, because they know that unless those are in place, the cryptos are going to run even higher. Yes, we're going to get high runs with the implementation of BACT and the COMEX trading of futures and all that. It would have been a lot higher were they not there. These are tools of control and manipulation. Period, full stop. And the COMEX won't be around when the banking crash happens. Everybody seems to forget that there's quadrillions in derivatives just hanging out there waiting to destroy everything related to centralization. So Coinbase, the COMEX, the New York Stock Exchange, BACT, none of them can survive the destruction of the derivative system. What can survive it? Physical silver in your own possession. Physical gold in your own possession. Bitcoin, Litecoin in your own possession. In your own possession. And what will the prices be? Unlimited. You won't even know the price because the exchanges will all be shut down. That's how big this derivative meltdown is. So no, I am not happy about any kind of derivative trading on the COMEX. And Ben, you know better than that. Those are derivatives they're trading. And when they say physically deliverable, first of all, they limit it, just like silver. Just like Bakkt is not going to be trading physical Bitcoin. There'll be a component that nobody utilizes because it's not convenient. But you know who's going to utilize those exchanges? 90% of the trades are going to be people like JP Morgan and the Federal Reserve and the Exchange Stabilization Fund to control the price of crypto. So no, I am not happy. And the people say, oh my God, look, Bitcoin is going up to 100,000 because of the introduction of Bakkt and the futures contracts. No. It probably would have gone up to 1 million had that control mechanism not been put in place. So yeah, I'll probably try to play that when I see the positioning, because they're going to have to admit their positioning, the commercial traders, if it's done the same as gold and silver. There's huge money to be made by playing their manipulation. Ask Ted Butler. You can see their moves on the COMEX, the CME, the criminal CME. So no, that's not a good thing. It is a control mechanism. Full stop. It is a derivative. It is not Bitcoin. It is not it is a deliverable around certain parameters. You have to be an authorized participant to pull it out. Who's going to be allowed to be an authorized participant? Nobody who's pro-crypto, I'll guarantee you that. It'll be JP Morgan. It'll be Citibank. It'll be the Fed, the Treasury, disguised as In-Q-Tel or something to that effect. Nobody who's going to rock the boat. Same with Bakkt. Hey, you rich people, if you want cryptos, go buy cryptos. Buy it on the blockchain and take it home. The rest is just play things to control the price of cryptos. I am absolutely pissed that they co-opted the crypto market. We need decentralized everything. Futures are not real cryptos. Deliverable futures are not real cryptos. You know how many third parties are in between? And in between, in that mechanism, is where they rig the price. Watch the volumes go off the charts of Bitcoin. They're already off the charts. They're getting even more off the charts. Bitcoin futures, Bitcoin ETFs. That's playing into their game of derivatives. An ETF is a derivative. A futures contract is a derivative. All it does is rig the price, control the price, up and down. Yes, they're going to allow the prices to go up, and then they're going to fleece the people because they've got these derivative futures contracts in place. That's how their game is played. We need to remove ourselves from their game. Absolutely, 100%. Not your keys, not your crypto. Futures contract is a joke. That's my take. All right. What else was I talking about? So yes, Bitcoin explodes 20% overnight. Rises just shy of 13,000. Everybody wants to know why. After breaching 10,000 over the weekend for the first time since March 2018, Bitcoin has accelerated its sharp move higher and trading close to 13,000 on Wednesday, up almost 20% in the last 24 hours. It is now up 240% since the start of the year. Litecoin's up a hell of a lot more than that. Those people say, oh my God, Litecoin's not moving, but Bitcoin's moving. Just calculate from the lows. December, Litecoin was $23, up 600%. Bitcoin was 33, so it's up 300%. Or close to 400%. Litecoin's still up massively more. And again, the rigging continues. So the rising Bitcoin price raises all prices. I'd rather see Bitcoin continue to rise, Litecoin be cheap to buy until the time is ready for Litecoin to be used as a means of exchange. Because you're going to be able to get more Litecoin in your pocket than you will in the future. I'll be talking about that in the timeline part 2. just some juicy tidbits. But later on the Patreon, it's all going to be about silver. Speaking of silver, and speaking of crypto, and speaking of Weir's Freedom Roadshow, I have planned another date in a spot where I know I love dearly and my good friends are there. Spokane, Washington, July either the 12th or the 13th. Not sure yet. 11th, 12th, or 13th. One of those days, we are going to do a Freedom Roadshow in Spokane, Washington. I talked to some friends up there, including David Morgan, and they're up for it. So we're going to find a spot. If you are in the Pacific Northwest, absolutely get your ass to Spokane. We're going to shoot for the 13th, the Saturday, so we can do a longer event, or Friday evening. But I'll get back to you on that. And yeah, it's going to be the Freedom Roadshow on the road again. Any of my friends like Bitcoin Ben or Snippy or anybody wants to show up, I think they're all Midwest or East Coast. Everybody's invited. It is free. It is going to be free. And I'm talking to some other people about coming who are in the area. Some really cool people. Crypto people and silver people and freedom people. So we might just turn it into a whole day Roota-Palooza. It's a Roota-Palooza. Spokane, Washington, somewhere around the 12th or 13th of July. Done deal. And I just might pop over and see my friend Cliff High if he's around. And anybody in the Seattle area for later that week, like the 14th or 15th, if you got a group of people that you want us to do the Freedom Roadshow with and for in that big city of Seattle, send me an email, bix@roadtoruta.com, and tell me what you can. If there's a decent sized group of people, we'll do it. Decent sized meaning more than 2. So if you're in the Seattle area, give me a shout, because I'll be headed to Seattle, and then I think we're going to Vancouver after that, and we are driving. So this is literally the road show, and I'll have all my equipment. Can set up in a park, can set up anywhere you guys want, and we'll sing songs and talk about cryptocurrencies and silver and gold and freedom. So yeah, that's the Freedom Roadshow is going north mid-July. More on that soon. Okay. So that's what I had to say this morning. No, I'm not excited about the future. Who would be excited about crypto derivative contracts? I don't know. Ben, come on, buddy. We've been through this time and time again. It's just that they use them to control the prices. That's my big problem. If the big money wants to come in, come on in. We've gotten this far without you. We can go farther without derivatizing everything so that the big money can control the price. We don't need that. Hey, if you want to buy cryptos, go buy cryptos. Go buy the real thing. But I do think the derivative game will end when the big derivative bubble blows. So I don't think we're going to have to worry much longer about COMEX futures or backed or Fidelity or anything like that. I just don't see it. Nobody can survive the derivative crash, and everybody forgets about it. It's hanging out there, and the only things that will survive are assets, real assets in your own possession. And that's it. Sorry. What can I tell you? You won't be able to know your price of your gold and your silver with the COMEX and the LBMA gone, and you won't be able to know the price of your cryptos with the large exchanges gone. And they will not survive a derivative meltdown. I'm sorry. They have to deal with the banking system. They have employees to pay. They got all kinds of issues. And they don't, and the big thing is they don't have the cryptos that their customers are supposed to hold. So if you hold your crypto in something like Coinbase or Kraken or Gemini or any of the exchanges, you will lose them with a derivative meltdown. There is no doubt you will lose them. So keep an eye on Deutsche Bank. That's the linchpin, one of them, which I talked about in part 1 of the timeline post. So go to Road to Ruta. Part 2 is coming out later today. And that's all about what day it's going to happen, and how's it going to go down. Pretty cool. It's BigSquareRoadRooter.com. I'll talk to you later.